And welcome. Let's go. Lisa says our special guest. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Moira. Lovely to be here. Thanks very much for having me.
Oh, fantastic. So I'm going to just have a little quick check here on the iPad to double check that we are definitely live. There we go. We're live and up and running. And anybody joining in, they can just give us a thumbs up that you can hear us and connections are good. There we go. Anne McVie's up. She's giving us hearts. So we're all live, ready to rock and roll.
Fantastic.
Thank you for coming onto Color Chats. And of course, everybody can see you're part of the Color Mirrors family with your lovely lit up bottles behind you. They look so sparkly.
Thank you. I love them.
Fabulous. Okay, so for anybody joining us, of course, we have your color pick of the week. And today we have essences up for the pick. So I'm going to switch camera and just let you have a little feel into the numbers. Okay, there we go. Clicking buttons. There we go. 1, 2, or 3 this week. Which one are you drawn to, Lisa? 1, 2, or 3?
I'm going to go for number 2, please, Moira.
Number 2. Okay, excellent, excellent. Yeah, I've kind of felt 3 this week. So 1, 2, and 3, and of course, anybody who knows your number now, you know you got to, and you know how the show works. Pop into the comments feed which one you are drawn to, number 1, 2, or 3, and at the end of our chat today, Lisa and myself will give you a little special message related to the bottle you have. Let's have a look at who's come on here. Anne is on, Lisa Charmaine is on from California, Rhaenyra's, and hello girls, I'm here. Hi Rhaenyra Barkley.
Hi Renara.
Am I pronouncing her name correctly? I hope so.
Renara, she always says like mascara.
Like mascara. I love it, Renara, like mascara. Aurelia's here from Denmark, lovely. Oh, Anne, you're picking number 2 as well this week. Okay, fabulous. So you have picked 2, Renara, like mascara. 2, please. I'm not going to forget that.
Sorry, Renara.
And Moira Andrews is watching as well. All right, so we've got some people viewing. That's fantastic. Welcome, everybody. All right. So, you know, Lisa, in the show here, before you and I get chatting and get to know each other and kind of share our stories and our connections, I always like to just share a little bit about color mirrors first and use this opportunity to chat about a specific essence bottle and a specific dual colored oil bottle and in the system, and we're kind of working our way. We started at number 1 and we spoke about the sun, number 2 the moon, and we ended up today at number 8, and it's violet. Of course, I'm wearing violet today. It's a very violet day.
Violet.
You're in pale. You're in the paler version.
The enlightened version.
You're the enlightened one today. I don't feel enlightened today at all, I've got to tell you. I'm going to rely on you completely today.
It's my thing. I've been there.
So I'm going to switch over to some slides so that we can just share some of, for those who are in color mirrors, of course, this is like a refresher and just nice to join in the chat and share if you have any information you want to add about the colors into the color chat. I really appreciate if the family comes together and shares the information. And, but for people who are new to color mirrors and you're watching this for the first time, or maybe you don't know what all these color bottles are about, this is a little taster for you just to get some insights, into some of the colors, how they interpret it and how we use it as a therapy and a consciousness expansion system, really. And that's really what it does. It expands our consciousness. So let's get on with it. Lisa, I'm going to share screen and bring up today's first bottle, and let's get the ball rolling with the violet bottle. Saturn, deep violet underneath and pale violet on top. So I believe that this is also your birth year number. It's like this is a color that is part of your life experience. Yeah.
My life path number. Yeah.
Yeah, and have you made friends with it? Are you okay with this?
Yeah, I've totally made friends with it because I've been on a huge journey with it, and it goes back through my sort of ancestral and all the patterns as well. So I feel as though I'm really the one that's come to transform everything that it is, all the grief and depression, and and any judgment about what has happened.
Yeah, that is definitely a theme around this color. And for anybody who doesn't know what we mean when we say life path number, really how we come to a life path number is just adding the digits in your date of birth, the day, the month, and the year that you're born, and you get to a single digit. Right. So violet is your crown. This is a color that kind of sits at the top of your head. And we always talk about this one as being the closest one to heaven. So we know that when you're drawn to this color, it's going to nail you to the floor and say to you, you've got to transform spiritually. So, and what I also like, I'm going to throw in something weird here, Lisa, but you know, sometimes little old ladies dye their hair that lilac purple.
Yeah.
It's like a sign of saying, I'm getting closer to heaven now.
Yeah, I've never thought of it like that. I'm not sort of going to go there, I don't think. Keeping the
I did too. I said you were the enlightened one today. Oh my goodness.
And my birthday is 17, so I'm actually, a real 8.
Double 8, yeah, because the 1 and 7 is 8, right?
Yeah. So I'm really doing it deeply.
Yeah. Well, number 8 is about infinity circle, because it has that little crossing thing. It's about cycles and abundance. And very often, when I talk about the law of attraction and how that works, we do talk about number 8 in relation to the law of attraction and creating abundance. And I think, I don't know if it's in your case, but I know that people I've spoken to that's in an 8 or has this 8-year number or relate to it is surrender is the key word for them. Is surrender into the flow, and the abundance automatically just comes back to you. So what you put into the one circle of the 8 and you let it go and you surrender, it comes back and it, it comes back to you. So that's how you learn about flow. I don't know if that's been...
It's exactly that, absolutely. And once we can surrender, accept and let go of everything that is stopping us from our abundance, we get absolutely that mirrored back to us. But it's a journey. It's not something that is, when you're working with a number 8 and Saturn, that is done lightly, or I would say, I don't know, quickly perhaps. Of course, we can change as quickly and effortlessly as we choose to, but it is a spiritual color. It is a spiritual journey, the 8. So that often takes us through many, many experiences to get the lessons, doesn't it?
Yeah. And we definitely, I'd like us, when we finished with chatting about the colors, I'd like to talk a little bit more about that later, because it's specifically your story that caught my eye in this group that we're in, that we're studying with at the moment. And I'd love you to share that story, because it's an 8 story. So hang in there, guys. Don't go away. You're going to want to hear what Lisa has to share about her 8 life journey.
I won't give too much away yet.
No, not yet. Hang in there. The Saturn bottle is often chosen by people who are learning about God's timing. I have to laugh at that one. It's true. We tend, because the opposite color to violet, of course, is yellow, and yellow is the ego, and it's like, I want it now, the ego goes. And then in the violet, God just laughs and goes, no, it'll happen when I say so.
Exactly. And that's when you have an 8 experience, you often say, oh gosh, why now? Or and the timings, if only this or that, with the timings. And that's when it's operating from a higher level, from the God's highest perspective.
Well, you're also going to be drawn to this one when you are deepening your wisdom and understanding of yourself. So that and of course it feels kind of a heavy, dark energy, doesn't it? But it's just, that is just what this bottle does, and what Saturn is about. It is about taking time to get to know yourself and analyzing and digging.
And then what you do, because I look at it and I feel it's very rich and luxurious, almost like that lovely velvety color. So I think I've made friends with it. I'm done. I think it's like a gorgeous, yummy velvet cloak. But it also obviously is related to, past lives, Catholic past lives and everything. So that's why a lot of people can't go anywhere near it, or, you know, but that's what it sort of sums up, that very, you know, lovely
Well, I
colour.
mean, I do have such a judgment on this color. I really do. I've just, you know, and it definitely was that Catholic stuff. I would agree with you there. But I'm in an 8 year. So I put an extra slide in here, Lisa, where I really just pulled out a little prediction that was made around the color violet for me in 2021, because I'm in a violet year. And I have to tell you, even putting on my violet clothes for the show today, I really was like, oh, I don't really want to wear it. I just want to put blue on. You know, I'm such a blue girl. But I you know, it's a show. I've got to, I've got to walk my talk. If I'm going to talk about violet, I must be in it, right?
Have you got Yellow Angel in your pocket or something?
No, I should. But for those who don't know how this works, is if I take the day that I'm born, and I take the month that I'm born. So I'm on the 29th of January. So 2 + 9 + 1. And I add 2021 to it. I come to an 8 year. So I'm actually in an 8 year. Okay. That's a single digit it comes to. So I am what you've been working on a lifetime, and I'm going to carry on working until the day you drop, Lisa. I'm getting to intensely experience in this 1 year in 2021.
Wow.
And
You're hardcore, Moira.
You know, it's so funny because, you know, 2021 was that awakening, right? You're awakening to new things. And then 2021 said, this is a key to a door, right? You're getting, that's why I've got the key up in my little logo design there for 2021. And the door that's opening up for me is this violet door. You know, I have to go in and serve more spiritually, and I have to go in and deepen the way I work spiritually as well. And of course, it's the year that the shadow deck is coming out and my shadow courses are coming out and helping people to explore that side of themselves. So everything that was predicted for me is happening. And I'm hoping that in this year, while I get to make friends with what this new stuff that I'm teaching and this, you know, going out in the more public arena with it, because I've always just done it in, you know, in my smaller groups, that the violet is going to cocoon me, that I'm going to see it through your eyes, which is it's regal and royal and lush.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you know, you'll be able to, once you embrace it and make friends with it, you'll be able to release the fear about it, everything that it is, and the judgment, and yeah, step into going.
For me, it's, and you know what it is, I've watched so many people who have this is their number, and they have so many deep challenges. So I'm always kind of a little, oh, when I get to that color and that number 8, I'm not so sure, because it's such a challenging one. And certainly so far how 2021's unfolded for me, I'm seeing it in my family and my immediate surroundings. But
I think also we know that, you know, it is sort of asking us to look at everything that we have judged, all the, you know, the hardships, the difficult experiences, and to realize that every stitch was perfect. When we can step into that spiritual perspective, then actually we learn to love the hardest, darkest of stitches, but maybe we don't see them as dark anymore, because again, this is, you know, transformation. So once we come out of it, then we understand it, we can see it from a completely different perspective.
Oi, I'm seeing lots of purple hearts on the feed here. Yvonne says hello. Diane says hello. Lovely. Anne says, I started an online prayer group early in January without realizing it's an 8 year for me. Yeah, so it does call you to serve spiritually, Anne. I would agree with you there. Yeah. Oof.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm going to park 8 for a minute. We're going to come back to it when you and I have our 8 chats. And move on to something a little lighter. Pink Angel is our spritzer of the week. You love this one?
I absolutely adore this one. Yeah. I mean, it smells like the pink roses. It's just so soft and warm. It's like a warm, loving embrace. It's just so comforting and supportive. Yeah, unconditional love. It's just...
And the smell is divine as well, like that citrusy. Oh, just love it. It's so refreshing, isn't it? Yeah.
I find everybody loves this one. You know, it's fantastic for every situation. children love it. Obviously, I work with mothers and children, and so it's absolutely a perfect one.
And we've just had Mother's Day here, and I know in the UK it's different, but in Canada and South Africa and other parts of the world, it was Mother's Day. So it was so appropriate that it was the pink angel just after Mother's Day, because pink relates to mums. So we've put a couple of notes together for you guys. This is the angel of love. I mean, this is, you know, this, and you literally just take one spritz and instantly you're in the highest vibration you can be, which is love. It just puts you in the space of love right away. And it's chosen when you want to change your relationship with yourself, a partner, or a family member. People often come and say, I don't know what to do. He's driving me crazy, or my kids are driving me crazy. And then they pick a pink angel, and, you know, it's often a cry for help. And we just say that the way you get the situation back to where you feel it's manageable is you love it right. You don't fight it right. In essence, to me, this is what this bottle teaches, is you can't fight.
That's such a perfect saying, isn't it? And that is absolutely true. And I think whenever we have challenges or with a relationship, whatever the relationship is, whether it's personal or work, it's asking us to, what's it mirroring back? It's asking us to look at our relationship with ourselves. So of course it really helps with self-love, self-acceptance, especially because the pink and yellow make coral, and that is all about complete self-acceptance. So the pink is just brilliant for that, isn't it?
Yeah. And Melissa always reminds me when I say, oh God, I know what to do. So-and-so is bugging me, or such and such a thing's happening. She says, put them in pink bubbles. Put them in pink bubbles.
Exactly.
Pink angel, put them in pink bubbles.
Absolutely. Well, it softens it, doesn't it? It takes any hard edges off. It allows you to then have that conversation in the relationship coming from love, and then you notice the difference.
And what I love about the pink and the combo we have with the pink and this bottle, Lisa, is often in the violet you get those legal judgment kind of situations. People are stuck with some kind of court case or some legal issue. I always say to them, you take the pink angel with you to court or your meetings, whatever you're doing where there's legalities involved, and put them and everything in a pink bubble, and you know you're going to be okay. So to me, if anybody comes to me with any legal issues, I say pink angel, pink angel, pink angel. I've had it with, I remember one of my very early case studies was a young girl in Scotland, young mum who was divorcing from the father of a child, and he was very wealthy, had lots of money, and he was going to take the child away from her and make sure that she never saw her daughter again. And she just, in her session, she just burst into this bucket of tears and fear, and just said, I can't live without my child. This is not something I'm going to be able to deal with. What do I do? And I said, well, pick a bottle. And she picked the pink angel. And I said to her, you got to love him, and you got to put him in a pink bubble, and you got to love the judge and the lawyers, because at that point she was a rag of bones because the lawyers had decimated her so much. And I said, you got to love him, and you got to put them in pink bubbles and see what happens. And actually, I had gone back to England, and she called me from, she's living in Scotland, where I'd done this a workshop where I'd met her. And she said to me, it all turned out fine. It ended up being shared custody. It was a calm meeting. None of the aggravation and fear that was present previously in previous hearings, and it all changed. And she just says, thank you for the pink angel. And that was one of my very first kind of really realizing the power of this pink bottle. And when you just change your perception from that, I have no control, I'm fear, somebody has power over me, to let me just love them, and using this essence to raise that vibration.
Exactly, because we know if we're, angry, frustrated with the situation with that person, that's what we're going to project. That's the energy. So what are we going to get back from them? Absolutely the same twofold. So yeah, if we can send it with love, then
what was so astonishing is she knew nothing about color therapy. This was literally her first, experience of it. And what a simple thing to give someone a tool like that and say, just spritz it, visualize pink bubbles, and off you go, and it'll be fine.
Absolutely. Well, I find, working with people who don't, know anything about, the meanings, and this is way before also that I got into color mirrors. It exactly does that, just visualizing the color, and, not always having to know everything that it is. It's because it's an energy, it's a vibration, a frequency that we are. So it instantly works, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Melissa, thank you for making Pink Angel. We just
Thank you for all of them. Gosh, yeah.
Just have a look here. Renara says we love Pink Angel. Diane also says loves. Oh, they're all saying they love Pink Angel. Karani is on. She's saying you are such a Pink Angel, Lisa.
Oh, I'm gonna feel straight, Karani. Just adore it. Can't get enough of it.
Yeah, it is a gorgeous smell. Right, let's have a look. So in Color Mirrors, we do have a bottle that combines that energy of violet. But of course, what we're looking at here is the C12, which is like the paler version of violet, which is lilac. And so we have that where the pink and the lilac comes together. And this is what we call the new heart chakra bottle. So we just wanted to share this one with you guys because, you know, when we talk about the new heart chakra bottle, you know how the planet's changing, right? We're expanding consciousness. We're going through this evolution, old systems breaking down, and we've had this massive awakening happening in 2020 into 2021. And our colors that we draw into the heart used to be green, and green is the color of envy, jealousy. I'm going to go to war and take what I want. Even our the way we love was done in a warring, you know, kind of energy, because in our vows of marriage we would say, I promise to obey you. So you become like the owner, you know, you're being owned by somebody else through this contract. So all of that changing, and the heart's taking in from the sun into this chakra these lovely lilac and pink colors, and that's a game changer for everybody on the planet. Absolute game changer. Do people pick it a lot with you in your practice, Lisa?
Absolutely, they do, because I say I work with mothers and children, so the mothers, yeah, it's a real go-to one. I mean, it's all about unconditional love, isn't it? It's all about seeing yourself as love, seeing everything as love, you know, everything that is in our life as love. And when we can operate from that, yeah, it just changes so much. It just lets all that, yeah, say that the harshness of the green, of the anger and the envy and jealousy just dissipate, doesn't it? It's just, you know, how can things, you know, ever not be perfect when you're operating from love? You know, it's even in the most challenging situations, that's when, you know, working with clients, you know, when they're exploring what's going on, you know, when I say, well, just try this, you know, just exploring it. And yeah, it's incredible, the change and the shifts that they have with whatever their situation is. Yeah. It just, I mean, love's always going to be perfect, isn't it?
Violet says that your heart is being spiritualized. You and your soul are now working as one in your relationships. And then, of course, Pink says unconditional love for yourself and others. So it's literally it's such a powerful combination to put together, isn't it?
It's huge.
Everything is going to be okay if you pick this. Really. Anything to do with relationships and love, and, you know, being accepted for who you are, and yeah, and your relationship with your mom, everything is going to be okay.
And money and everything.
Yeah, Pink is love and money, always same frequency. It even says money is going to be good. Yeah, love.
So when we completely, you know, the love and spirit, absolutely, you know, we don't see ourselves as separate, you know, we are absolutely that. Then yeah, we just become complete love.
So let's come back to our big screen so you and I can have a little deeper chat about this.
Are you feeling any more love for your outfit?
I'm kind of feeling this is okay, but I know that once I'm finished chatting, I'm going to be out of it and back into blue. It's just like right now, blue is my color that helps me cope with things, and you know, I've set myself an incredibly tight schedule and doing a lot of things and getting behind with a couple of things. So blue helps me, but I'm the violet, I'm not quite sure yet. I'll sit with it for a bit longer.
Or maybe it is, you know, really asking you not to judge yourself, you know, with timings. And we know that, you know, Saturn is all about timing. So yeah.
And in the 8-year predictions, Lisa, the shadow card for the year to watch out for was time.
Well, there you go, you see, and that's why you're having such a hard time thinking, oh, I've got all this to fit in, and oh, so yeah, just let it go. Embrace it.
So we're currently doing a program with Melissa Jolly, the founder of Color Mirrors, and Karani, Amanda Bradbury. And Amanda Bradbury is literally our go-to astrologer in Color Mirrors, and she's extraordinary because she's tied the system of Color Mirrors with the system of astrology. So really, she's the founder of that kind of information way back when we all first met Melissa 18 years ago. So she's been with the system for a long time. And that's a course we're on right now, as we're learning about 3 specific models linked to 3 specific planetary energies and astrology signs and so on. And in the private group that we have, Amanda invited us to share our background, who we are, what we do. And I didn't know you. I knew about you because, in Color Mirrors, it's now quite a few hundred people across the planet that are, in the group. And I think Color Mirrors is like 1,000 members in its private group. So I haven't had a chance to meet everybody. And I read your story and my jaw just dropped. And I just thought, oh my God, what a journey you've had. And the things you've gone through. So I'd like you to share with the viewers, because this is a very typical eight path, life path, and maybe you can start off with a story that you wrote about, which was the car accident, and just share with us a little bit around how that's led to the work you're doing now. So I'm going to hand it over to you and let you just go for it.
Thank you, Moira. Yeah, Amanda is absolutely wonderful. I'm loving the astrology. I've been doing it with her for over a year now. So yeah, I can't get enough of it. So yeah, I would say now I absolutely embrace my life path, my 8 life path, and I can just understand, everything that's happened is all been part of it. When I was sort of saying about, every stitch in the tapestry. But of course, and when the car accident happened, previous to that, when I got divorced, I couldn't see any of that. I didn't want to be told, any of that. So that's why now, looking back, I see it so differently. And that is also the beauty of how the Color Mirror system works as well, because when I got divorced back in 2000, I sort of did find, lots of different energy techniques, kinesiology, Chinese herbs, Chinese medicine, acupuncture. So that was almost my little sort of introduction to the world of energy. And then, we were in a really good place. And my dog's just about to jump down. I hope she doesn't take the ring light out. And I know you'll understand because you've got your dog. She's maneuvered past. So yeah, and we relocated and new schools and everything, and I thought, great, we've overcome that hurdle. It was nothing that I never wanted that to happen for my children, because my work is all about the mothering journey, working with mothers, and also looking at my natal birth chart, looking at the astrology. My son is in Cancer in the 10th house, and it's how we are in the world and everything. So it was all, and using those gifts.
So you were in, just to put the audience that are watching us in the picture here, you suffered an incredible trauma with this car accident. You were in Spain, and that's when it happened, and you had your 3 children with you, and they were in the car.
Absolutely.
Just explain some of the stuff you went through, because for me as a mum, it would be devastating. I mean, it just, for any mum, that this is just, you can't comprehend it. It'd be the worst thing that could happen, is what I'd say, right?
Absolutely.
But you went through this, so yeah, just pick up from there.
So on holiday with my 3 children on an island off Spain, and having a great time. And then we had a car accident. All the children taken off, and myself in different ambulances. It's a very small hospital, so I didn't know where any of them were. So of course, when mothering, is my passion, it's huge, and like this sort of mother lion, you know, where are all my cubs, you know? So yeah, my son suffered a spinal cord injury, so he's paralyzed from the waist down and has not been ever been able to walk since, or yet, you know. Anything is always possible. So I felt the start of my awakening journey was when I went through the divorce and bringing my children up by myself. But then this car accident was the big awakening. It was a big spiritual awakening. I had to go through all the you know, the judgment and the whys and the timings and the guilt and, you know, oh, if we hadn't come on holiday, if we'd left a few minutes earlier. I was having that conversation with Melissa the other day, because she's an 8 too, and it's the timings, you know, you look at. So that's why, you know, I've done the big 8th life path, because I've moved through all that judgment. And of course I went through the grief, depression, you know.
All the things that relate to Violet, that's grief, depression, anger, judgment. I mean, that's why the violet is such a heavy color for me, is because I know it holds so much.
Exactly, because it's the, you know, violet is, you know, the red, the base mixed with sort of the blue, you know, the throat chakra, that, you know, the anger, the expressing sort of, you know, the anger of why, you know, it's not fair, you know. And I think also it's for a mother to see her children, or any loved one, but especially her children, to go through this, you know. It's almost a bit like that, and I think it's the sort of the survivor guilt, isn't it, as well? It's just so unbearable. And even though, you know, we all survived, but remember my, you know, having a conversation with my daughter, you know, when we were eventually back at home, you know, I was in a really bad place, depressed, and you know, just sort of at that point thinking, I just can't carry on. Don't, you know, what's there to live for? And she said, yeah, but we're all still here. And you know, so it's that guilt of expressing how depressed and dark you are. So it's like my dark night of the soul. And of course, he, you know, he was flown to Barcelona, life-saving operation. So he was flown to Barcelona without me even realizing. And it was only until at the hospital, the surgeon was sort of sorting me out and saying, well, he's just had this life-saving operation, being flown to Barcelona, and one more thing, you know, your son will probably never walk again. And then carried on, so, you know, fixing me up. So I wasn't doing anything small. That journey of that 8 was big stuff. And then of course, he had when he came back to the UK, back stabilizing operation. And then we spent 4 months in Stoke Mandeville rehab. And of course, my other 2 children had to go off to boarding school. Very lucky to be able to do that. My parents were superstars and had them at weekends. So of course, you know, all this, the grief and the isolation and the desperation of the
and
whole
the change of how your family unit used to operate, it changed everything for you. So as a mother, this is the carpet just been pulled out from under you, and that's it, you know, floating in midair. Yeah. So looking at this experience, I mean, it's years and years of transformational work that you had to do there. And you now work with women who go through traumas, and you work with families who have, you know, who have this similar experiences to you. How do you use color? And, or maybe the first question should be, when did color come into your life, and how are you using it to now help other people in similar, you know, finding themselves in similar circumstances?
So after the accident, I, through a friend, found EFT, tapping, emotional freedom technique, and then became a Reiki master and angelic Reiki. And I was using essences and lots of sort of goddess essences, sort of Kuan Yin. And remember, that was this very sort of lilac color, and all sorts of things like that. And it was just a natural progression then on to matrix re-imprinting. And that's when I met Sharon King, and did Colour in the Matrix. And prior to that, so I suppose I first experienced the colour mirror system about 2011, I think, something like that. And then 2013, I did an online course that Sharon and Melissa were doing, the 8 Spiritual Principles, did Karani's Golden Keys. And then it was 2015 that I actually did my practitioner training, and then all the others, you know, additional numerology teachers. Did astrology with Amanda and Priscilla, astrology in colour in Italy. So that was fabulous. So it's taken, you know, I've been sort of building. And so I was already seeing clients working with all sorts of people, but suddenly realizing actually it's the mothers that are coming to me that is my passion, because it's guiding and supporting mothers, whatever is going on their motherhood journey, any end of the spectrum. And I do, you know, do obviously trained in Sharon's Heal Your Birth work. So it's such a privilege and honor to be able to support them. And when they're in their deepest, darkest hour, they can find resonance with me too, because they really understand that I know what they're going through. You know, it might be a different situation, but you know, it's still that resonance between mothers. And I specialize to begin with in loss and grief, but it's also the unexpected situation, because that for me was completely unexpected. So that's huge, because that in itself is a trauma. You know, it's the shock and trauma of something out of the blue. I'm a mental health practitioner as well, and we call it the Udin moment. It's unexpected, it was dramatic, you were isolated and you had no solutions, no tools. So I bring in all my tools. I love cooking, so I feel I'm an energetic chef because I bring any of my modalities into the session. But what I love about working with colour with mothers when they come to me is that if they are so desperate, overwhelmed, distraught, that, you know, they walk in, they've got all the colours in front of them, or, you know, online, and immediately the colour is working with them, you know, it's that support, and they can just choose a bottle where they are in that moment. And because obviously when you're working with loss and grief, you don't want to speak to the, you know, there's no words, it's just too much. So it's just amazing to sort of just soften, you know, just take the edge off, and then explore, you know, what colour, what bottle they've chosen. And obviously it always relates so perfectly to their situation. And then that allows the conversation, but it also allows the emotions to, you know, to come out. All of the emotions, as we said, the tears, the sadness, but also, you know, the anger, frustration, guilt, judgment, whatever. Because I work on really big stuff all the time. It's, you know, a lot of loss, a lot of birth trauma, loss of a child. And I work with children that are on the, you know, autistic spectrum as well. And they absolutely love the colour. Children just say it's magical working with the children's sessions, because they just have fun with it. And that's very much the pink, isn't it? It's, you know, especially the pink dragon. It's, you know, reminding ourselves to have fun, play, and I do art therapy as well with picture tapping. So again, I did that before I knew all about the colour mirror system. So colour just comes in all the time.
What I love about colour mirrors is you don't have to relive the trauma to you know, just holding the bottle, you're holding the healing, you're holding the transformation, and just using it. So it's such a soft way to be in a therapy situation if you've been through some deep trauma and pain and loss.
It's so gentle, and that's what I absolutely love. And I feel as soon as they start the session, they are comforted, they are held, and I feel that is very much how I work. You know, it's this really loving, safe, compassionate space where they feel they can start to transform their loss and grief and to heal. And
Can I ask you, what do your children think about you working with all these color bottles?
They love it, actually. Do you know, it's the only one of my modalities that they allow me to work with them. Yeah, so they're well, 24, 27 and 29, all soon to go up to the next level now. But they've got them in their flats. When my son Benji, when he came, you know, we got through rehab, and obviously coming home, you know, you left the house 6 months prior, you know, with a child that could walk, and then you're coming back into the house with a child that was in a wheelchair. So that was huge. So, you know, we were on just such a long journey, but one of our passions was skiing, and it was like riding a horse. You know, I was determined to get everybody back on the horse. I was not going to stop having our lovely family ski holidays. So we did. Whistler in Canada became our real love. So yeah, that's our second home, really. And anyway, Benji became a member of the GB Paralympic ski team. Oh. So I used to sort of do visualizations with him and say, you know, because you're at the top of the mountain, you know, about to go down, you know, the slalom or whatever it is, and it's quite terrifying, and the nerves because the pressure's on. So it's like, you know, visualizing which color, you know, is going to go before you. And it was just fabulous how, you know, that transformed for him. And also, obviously, he's got lots of different physical stuff going on. You know, people see people, you know, people in a wheelchair and just think, well, they can't walk. But actually, the bigger picture is, or you know, how it affects your internal organs, especially bladder and bowel and stuff. So, and of course, we know any tissue or organ, when you got, you know, any emotional or mental trauma, then that will correlate. So of course, bladder issues, you know, again, I used to do loads of meditations with him, and often I'd be doing a running while he was at school, and, you know, he'd say, please, can you sort of, you know, do some healing for me? And I'd go down and do sort of on a cellular level and bring in all the colors as well. And, you know, then I'd say, well, how are things? And he'd message me and say, yeah, you know, bladder's really great now, you know. So, yeah, I use them all the time. I used them intensely. I remember doing driving lessons and driving tests and exams, yeah, job interviews, relationship issues. Gosh, yes, remember that with my daughter. Yeah, so, yeah, they love it because it is such fun, isn't it? I mean, what's not to love? Look, you know.
Colors behind both of us. I have to say, yours is very sparkly, though. Yours is definitely very, very sparkly.
Oh, yours look very lovely. It's like being in a sweetie shop. So, you know, I do absolutely love it. And I love the fact that then they share with their friends. So, you know, I just think, how lucky are these youngsters actually, all coming up now, you know. The world is so different. And I was sharing with Melissa when she came on my Insta live chat on Wednesday that, wow, wouldn't it have a difference to have had all, you know, the system when, you know, I was going through all my traumas. But with all the work that we do with color and also the matrix reimprinting, you know, being able to go back to earlier times when you had the trauma and being able to, you know, find the belief, change it. And yeah, so of course I've taken these bottles back to all the times now, all those memories of car accident and divorce, got the whole system.
So I want to just create a scenario here. If somebody is watching and they are right now in a trauma situation, and especially as a mother, what would be the first piece of advice you'd give to them? What would be the first thing you would address, or that you could maybe just give them hope?
I would say be kind to yourself. Mothers, we're always trying to be so perfect. We're trying to be the perfect mother, or just do everything possible so your children don't get hurt. You just want everything to be okay for them. And I know, you know, mothers I speak to or friends, it's like, oh, every one of their children's okay at the moment. And they sort of have that breath and think, oh, at the moment, everyone's okay, you know, because always something happens with one of them. So I would say just be kind to yourself, look after yourself, but also to understand that our children, whatever age, even, you know, the little babies that come in, they are still powerful, you know, beings of light. They're powerful souls that, if you look at it from a soul's perspective, that this contract was already agreed for whatever the learning is in this particular life, you know, having this human experience, then you've got all the tools. Your children have got all the tools, all the wherewithal to be able to deal with it. Not always easy to hear, but I always say it as well, to put yourself on the top of the pile, because we're, you know, mothers are usually way down, aren't they, at the bottom of the pile, and that's actually one of the first things that I probably do say, you know, see yourself as important as your children. You know, you're all equal, but put yourself top of the pile, because if you look after yourself first, self-care, don't judge, unconditional love, then you're going to have the energy, the capacity to be able to show up for your children. Because if you're depleted, if you're drained, if you're a complete mess, then you can't even be there.
Yeah.
And I think once you step into that soul's perspective,
view, yeah.
Exactly, but it makes such difference always.
It does, and I know being a mum that one of the things that's been again, Kalamarism, Melissa's teachings, that has been that, you know, remember they are powerful souls, is I go, actually he knows more than me. He might be younger than me, my son, but he already knows so much more than me. He's ahead of the game. I'm learning from him. And the minute I have that perspective, then I can calm down a little bit more and go, okay, what am I learning here?
Yeah.
Instead of
exactly
trying to teach him what I know.
Exactly. It's like, we need to sort of get ourselves out of the way, don't we? You know, not as a thing, see each other as equal. And gosh, yeah, all my children, you know, biggest teachers, and especially Benji, the youngest, you know, he was such an incredibly wise soul when he arrived here, obviously still is, but it's just, yeah, so many things.
He had a big plan for the whole family.
Oh yes, he certainly did. Yeah,
he had a big contract, and you've handled it so beautifully. It's part of why the way you wrote about your experience, that just warmed my heart, and I just knew you had to come and share the story with us, and the grace that you've handled it with, and the way you speak about the whole process of this 8 violet evolution that you've been through is so beautiful, Lisa. I really appreciate you sharing this, and you know, being so vulnerably, you know, telling us about being vulnerable and sharing with us.
I think vulnerability is that's something I always say, you know, vulnerability is one of the hardest lessons to learn. You know, it's been one of my things, but you know, I'm a Cancerian as well, you know, I've got moon in Scorpio, I feel things very deeply. So yeah, it's been a huge test really, but also talking about our children and being these powerful souls. I do remember, and it's always stuck with me, when we were at Stoke Mandeville Rehab Hospital, and we had to go down to the spinal gym every day, and it was a hideous place, hated every single minute of it. And I remember the adults there, because there were only, I think, 2 children in this tiny little sort of children's unit. But so we had to, Benji at 9 had to be with adults all the time. I mean, it was an incredible situation for him, yet he just accepted it with just pure grace. He never complained. He was so cheery. And I remember walking down to the gym one day, these 2 guys in wheelchairs coming towards me, and they said, "Oh, you're Benji's mum. He's the reason why we get up in the morning." That's therefore when you can see the wisdom from his soul and the journey, and how many people he touches Yeah, so
It
incredible,
wasn't just
really.
the family, it was everybody that was a part of
Oh,
the whole process. Yeah.
totally. And of course, Floss and Ollie, my other two have been absolute superstars, and of course, huge effects on them. And they've obviously gone through an 8 journey too. So big stuff.
Yeah. So you've got some workshops coming up that we would just want to share with our viewers before we give you. I hope you've all picked your 1, 2, and 3, and you popped it into the comments. The pick for the week, 1, 2, or 3. But let me just do some share screen and just go back to our slides, and let's just share some of the upcoming events that you have got ready to share with the world, Lisa. So you've got a practitioner training coming up, right?
I have. That's on Friday, the 21st of May. So that's in 2 weeks' time, or 2 weeks this Friday, 2.5 weeks. And it's going to run for 6 months. So it's going to give people a lot of time to sort of process. It's going to be twice a month. Going to be,
Have you done this before where you've done it over a period of time like this? Because I know with the lockdowns we've had to work differently, but is this something new that you're exploring?
It is something new, absolutely, because
well, I can tell you're going to love it because I've done it. I did my first one.
You did, yeah.
I did my first 6 months online one, and it blew my socks off.
Yeah.
It was incredible. I enjoyed it as much as the students did. So
I think it's so supportive when it's over a long period of time. And I think lockdown has taught us this, I've been on many different programs for my own self-care, self-awareness, and astrology being one of them. That's been going over a year now. And I think it's so supportive. Gosh, think of all the processing over 6 months. Think of all the transformation and the healing.
And learning a new tool at the same time. So as you're healing and transforming and taking this deep dive into yourself, you're ending up with a tool that you can immediately begin to help other people. So exactly. That's the beauty of this program. So there's some information there. I've got your email up there, and I've got your website up there, a mothersawakeningjourney.com, so people can contact you on that.
Fabulous.
Okay, so if you want to know about the pricing and the timing and all the dates and what is involved, please would you connect with Lisa on those on that email, lisa@mothersawakeningjourney.com. And if you struggle to find it or you can't remember, please just pop over to Facebook Messenger. Lisa is on Facebook; she can connect with you there, right?
Absolutely.
Right, there we go. And then you have a second offering, and it's with Amanda Bradbury. So that's fantastic. I love this. You're calling a journey to joy. What's that about, Lisa?
So again, it's perfectly for the mother's journey, especially, but it's for anybody. So it's when you find yourself at overwhelm. So I sort of feel it's very much a G8, that really the darkest bottle in the system, when you're in that depression, despair, overwhelm, everything's too much, you just can't see the way forward. And where you want to be, that joyful, number one, the sun bottle, that, vibrant, energized, just having a great, everything is great. But obviously there's going to be all the different steps in between. There's like sort of 6 more sort of stages. So yeah, Amanda and I have done quite a few workshops at my old house before I moved, and we just had so much fun bringing astrology and the color and both of our sort of wisdom and experience in. And so yeah, we thought we'll join forces online. So it's over 3 months. It's coming together twice a month again. So again, a nice period of time to really explore, embrace, and really, do the work, as it were, really sort of allow yourself to move out of overwhelm. And it comes with acceptance and surrendering, surrendering, acceptance, and then what are the choices, to be able to make change, and what are the supports. And so astrology, Amanda will do your natal birth chart, the color mirrors, obviously, guided color meditations. We'll be doing emotional freedom technique tapping, and I'll be doing some light matrix work as well, working with the soul, purpose.
That's a jam-packed schedule.
It is, and lots of exercises during, but also for you to do at home. Yeah, we got so much up our sleeves, so yeah, it's going to be great fun.
And the great thing is I've actually got next week, I've got Amanda on the show. So we're going to talk about this from Amanda's side as well next week.
And I also feel...
Here's the slide again. I'm going to remind
Yeah.
people about this next week as well. Yeah.
And I also feel that, you know, from my journey, especially from being an overwhelm many times, never thinking I could ever get to joy. So yeah, and look at me now. So I'm enjoying it.
What do you do for fun besides skiing and popping over here to Canada?
Oh, I love music. I love dancing. I'm obsessed with my bike at the moment because I live in a gorgeous village in the UK, very old village, and surrounded by fields. So I love going off cycling. It's almost like a cycling meditation. Sometimes I meet up with friends. I've got my lovely dog, so I walk every day. What
kind of dog have you got?
She's a boxer. She's
boxer. Oh,
yeah, she's like a tiger. She's gorgeous, and she's got the long tail, and she's like a mahogany color with stripes. She's just adorable.
Lovely.
I love all sports, tennis. I love cooking, to cook, fine wines, so much really. Animals are really my passion as well, and horse riding. Yeah, so much.
You lead a lovely active life as well. Yeah.
Friends bring me joy. Family, doing stuff with family brings.
Well, Lisa, I'm so thrilled that you came. We just got one more thing we need to do for our audience, and I was just having a look here. Sherry Brose has been on, and she says she's really enjoyed listening to you. A lovely chat and very inspiring, and thank you for sharing. Sherry's chosen number 2. Yvonne says she's chosen number 3. And yeah, let's have a look. Karani says the people who come on your courses are going to have such transformational time, Lisa. We'll get so much out of the work. Oh, that's beautiful, Karani. You're an inspiration, and we love having you as part of the Color Mirrors family.
Thank you so much. I love being part of it.
Yeah. Well, it's great. For me, it's so great to get to know you a little bit better because, you know,
never met properly.
I know. You come to Canada. Have you been to Niagara Falls, by the way?
I haven't. I've only been to BC, so I've only been to Whistler in British Columbia. Yeah.
Oh, maybe one day you'll pop over here and we'll collaborate and do a little workshop here as well and get people to meet in person when the world goes back to normal.
Yeah, soon, let's hope.
Right, I'm going to share camera now, and we are going to have a look at reveal what the 1, 2s, and 3s are.
I love this bit, Moira. I think it's very exciting. Like
number 1. You're right. Number 1. This bottle is, you can see it's quite clear, but it does have a little bit of a sparkle in it. It is the White Dragon.
Lovely.
So what's going to happen? What message of inspiration can we give people who's chosen number 1, White Dragon?
Well, I would say that if you are in any darkness around you, any overwhelm, any darkness, to be able to just imagine that you can step into the light. There is going to be light at the end of the tunnel, and of course the White Dragon has all the colors in the rainbow. And just think, how do you feel when you see a rainbow? It gives you hope that there is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So I would say, this is going to be a great week. Get some clarity perhaps on a situation that you're a little bit confused about.
Yeah, lovely. And I also think I want to add to that, if they're sitting on a fence about studying with you, just do it, because the White Dragon always says you've got gifts as a color healer.
There you go.
And number 2, because you chose number 2, right?
I did. Oh, my favorite. I love it.
Buddha.
Yeah.
So it's that orange gold combination.
Do you know, I think that, I thought this was my most favorite scent of all the essences until the magic essence arrived. Now I think they're probably on a par, but I mean, it's such a loving, gentle, calm, peaceful energy. And I think if you think of everything that Buddha encapsulates, to step into that energy, imagine if you could step into everything that Buddha is, you know, is for you, to have that, let go of, you know, any sort of shock or anxiety, and just
detach from that, because that's Buddha's teaching, is detachment.
exactly,
Detach from it, see it from that higher perspective.
exactly.
I have to tell you that I was at the garden center on Sunday, because our family, we got a family project during this big lockdown we were in here in our area. And so the only place you can go to is garden centers. That's the only place that's open, and grocery shopping. So we went, and I was just buying a couple of plants that I wanted to put in the garden. And there was this big statue of the laughing Buddha. And I've seen lots of them in my lifetime, but for some particular reason, this little one just drew me towards him, you know. And I just thought to myself, what is this laughing, actually big tummy belly thing all about? Because, you know, with Buddha teachings, everything is so kind of, yeah, it's a little bit serious in that, but it's like this laughing Buddha also reminds you to laugh. And that also helps you to detach, you know, just maybe for people in a 2-week is also just take some time out to have a laugh this week.
Exactly. And I would say also that contentment, you know, once we have that contentment with self, then you can laugh, can't you? You can laugh, and you can just stop and have some time. I remember seeing the big golden Buddha in Bangkok many years ago.
Yeah. Right. So those of us like me who've chosen 3, our bottle is Raphael, and the one I have here is this emeraldy green color. It's actually very lovely color. I'm not sure if you can actually pick up the color. Maybe if I put the light off, let me have a look and see if you can pick the color up a little better there. There we go. Put the light back off. So for those of you who chose number 3, it's Raphael, and this is an archangel. What message have we got for people who picked a number 3?
Well, I love all the archangels. I just think they are so powerful. And yeah, I would say just have some nurturing this week, you know, go out in nature, just surround yourself by sort of green if you can. If you can't, if you haven't got nature near you, just do things that nurture you, you know, within where, you know, the parameters of where you are. And just feel that support, I would say, that again, being able to breathe, have some space, time for you.
Yeah. And also what I like about Raphael, because it just says, you know, one of the ways to help you heal is by healing other people. Raphael reminds you of that you have healing gifts. I love it. Lisa, thank you so much. And thank you everybody for watching. I've just been checking all the lovely messages that have been coming in, and a lot of them encouraging online learning of the practitioner program, because they've done it with me. So Lisa, just thank you so much. I'm hoping that this has been an experience for you that's been good.
Thank you, Maura.
Experience.
Oh, thank you, Maura, for having me. It's such a pleasure to get to know you more. And I love doing lives. I think it's fabulous to share our passion of what we love, you know, working with clients. And oh, there's your little pooch.
He's just magnificently. He always knows when the hour is up. And if I go over by a minute or 2, he just gets so annoyed. It's like he's got something inside of him going, it's my walk time now, Mum.
Oh, well, my boxer is absolutely fast asleep in the chair beside me. She just loves, she gets colour therapy all the time. But no, thank you so much. It's been a joy. And I just hope, you know, everybody's found it really informative and supportive, especially the mothers out there. And if there are any mothers out there who would like to come on my Insta Live chats to share their mothering journey, their motherhood journey, and the traumas and the challenges they've faced, and using colour and any other modalities that they blend it with, I would love to have you as my guest.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, guys, you got an invitation from Lisa. Please contact her, get in touch on her email, and or, you know, disconnect with her on Facebook Messenger, or if you're in the Color Mirrors group, just drop her a message as well. And even in Color Chats, you know, whatever you can get hold of me, just get hold of Lisa and go and have a chat with her and share your mothering experiences. Lisa, thank you so much.
The ripple on the pond, you know, my passion is to get, you know, the messages out to mothers who have no idea that colour mirrors exist, the colour therapy, to support them in their challenges and the traumas that they're facing.
I take my hat off to you. You are like literally just a shining beacon for mothers. And yeah, I'm so glad you came on and shared your story today, Lisa. I really am.
Thank you so much. Well, anytime you want to, chat further, I'll be happy.
Everyone's coming back. We're going to be doing it for a long time.
Oh,
okay, my darling. Oh, look at him. He's not giving up. He wants to go walkies.
And thank you everybody who's joined and listened today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys. All right.